Welcome to the Running Channel podcast. What are you laughing at?
That was so high.
Was it high?
Welcome.
With me, Rick Kelsey.
And me, Sarah Hartley. And we've got a big surprise for you today. Andy has taken his cohort of children off on holiday somewhere. So we've got someone else sitting in his chair. And that is Aubrey.
Look how excited he is.
I'm
He
just
can't
excited.
speak.
I'm just excited.
You're not quite as high pitched as Rick was.
Yeah. And what a treat, because today we are talking about fueling, and we have two people here who are currently training for a marathon.
Three.
One person, three, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, three.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about you. I'm only joking. And one person who recently completed the 7th major and received a 6-star medal. And he was so happy to get this medal that when we said to him, come in and do the podcast, he forgot to bring it.
No, but let's remember, I sent in a question about me showing off my medal after I leave when I'm going to the airport. None of you guys say you wear your medals after race.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
that
true.
could be why. Maybe that's why I forgot it.
Yeah, it's firmly in the
That's
drawer.
my story.
Yeah.
Where do you keep it?
Oh, it's on the wall.
Is it?
I framed all of the other ones
Right.
in these shadow boxes, but that one just stands there gloriously. But it's a shame I forgot it.
Oh, well, still, incredible achievement. And you took 15 minutes off your marathon PB out in Tokyo. So we're going to talk about that.
Absolutely.
So Rick and I can definitely learn something from you because we both want a PB in our marathons.
Yeah, we do. I think that's adding pressure to it.
Sorry, yeah. But
Yeah.
we are going to dive into good fueling. And that will mean, regardless of whether we want a PB or not, we'll have a good time.
Some fascinating facts today. Also, we received an email that basically made Sarah and myself cry, didn't we?
We did. So we're going to read that out.
If you're looking for a gift for someone who has a love of running and is also training for a marathon, we might have a very good idea for you.
Let's get into it.
Aubrey, welcome.
Thank you.
You're here. How does it feel?
Do you know what? I have to tell you, you get into running and the running channel is a thing. I always say this. You get into DIY, you have to go to Wix, P&Q, all that kind of stuff. You get into running, the running channel is a thing. So me being a fanboy, and I'm on the podcast.
How does Andy's chair feel? Can you give...
That guy? You know
Exactly.
that guy?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Honestly, it's amazing to be here.
Oh, well, it's lovely to have you. So how was Tokyo Marathon? The 6th star? The end of a journey or the start of another
Do you know what? I think I put it in 3 buckets. There was the race itself, and then the 6 major finish thing, and then the Tokyo experience.
Yeah.
With Tokyo being something you see in films. You know, I'm a big anime fan. Being there, that's where you're crossing the
Japan's
food.
amazing.
It just blew me away.
I had some of the best 2 weeks ever, I think, when we went to Japan.
Did you discover any oshikatsu?
Oh, I ate way too much.
No.
Way too much. So George and Owen, I'm telling you now, there was a place we went to, it's a ramen place,
Yeah.
and they let you pick what you want to have in there. I want to say I had a little...
Pick some Japanese fan culture.
That's what oshikatsu means. It's not a food. I'm sorry. But also the food was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the food was
Octopus
delicious.
tentacles.
Oh, I love octopus.
Octopus
it's great.
itself.
Yeah.
I had so
Yeah.
many random things, but you got me there.
And
Did
you
you
almost
have
missed
that
the marathon.
before the marathon? Oh,
No, so wait, we'll get into that too. But I say to the guys, we're going to give ourselves until Thursday to eat whatever we want.
yeah.
Let it work itself out.
Yeah.
That way,
Smart.
we then get serious about fueling for the marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
about,
get serious about waking up in time for the start of the marathon. How did that go?
you know what, the funny thing is we were joking about it. I go to bed. I had terrible sleep the whole time.
Yeah.
Right? And then on marathon day, I wake up at 3 a.m. We had made a plan, we're going to meet up 6:30. But because I was trying to get back to sleep, it's that second sleep, it gets you. So I fell asleep again around 4. I woke up to my hotel room phone from the reception saying, your friends at the reception are waiting for you. And I think, when you came onto the phone, and honestly, I panicked, picked up my gels, got dressed, ran down.
What time was this?
I want to say 6:30.
Yeah.
We were running to the bus,
Yeah.
sports tours bus while people started getting on.
Thank goodness for hotel room phones. I mean, they haven't got rid of them yet
No,
because they've saved a lot of people.
Yeah.
Old technology sometimes just works. I heard that that you bought a bell in the airport to ring for when you needed something off Owen.
Did you actually?
Bellboy Owen.
No, but you know what?
Owen
Bring me
did
a fuel.
Owen did the same thing when we went out to Tokyo to do the podcast. I rang him up. Was it once or twice? Once.
But I had tons
twice.
of missed calls, loads of WhatsApp messages. And of course, at that time, my phone is still do not disturb.
Yeah.
Right? So hotel
Yeah.
phone came to the rescue.
Fear. Do you know why I love setting an alarm on my watch? I do it every day now because I am so fearful of the fact that like the clock's changed
Yes.
recently in the UK, and it's the first. And we were going out somewhere that day, and it's the first time that I've ever been like, I might set 3 alarms. But that's what I love. If you
On the
set an
wa- 'cause
alarm
it
on your
vibrates,
watch,
yeah.
it vibrates, and
It
you
is
literally
useful.
can't not
It is
wake
useful.
up.
Can you imagine? You rock up at my office, giving
Yeah.
me a place at this final major. We get to Tokyo.
almost
There's
sleep
all this build up. Oh,
And you miss it.
He
I mean,
missed it. He was asleep.
To be honest with you, I think it would have been legendary.
That is, yeah, it also would have been the absolute stuff
Yeah.
of nightmares. So Tokyo, huge marathon PB. What's next? What's the next goal? What are we looking at for the rest of 2026?
So I'm aiming for your times. We had this chat.
I'm really
me
not
and- me
happy
and
about
Sarah.
this. Yeah.
So I then go, Sarah, you are a pretty epic runner.
Thanks.
But I've started to get a little
Did you say
fast
were
myself.
then?
No,
Still
truly.
am.
still am.
Thank
No,
you.
it truly
I'm
is.
trying.
Truly is. Sarah, no, you are. You are.
Yeah. What
But
time?
then-
What time did you do Tokyo in, Aubrey?
3:58,
Okay.
59, I want to say.
Yeah.
Nice.
But let's not talk about the marathon time because that
Yeah.
one's a bit out there. But my 5K started to get a bit respectable. I'm on 20:54. I said, Sarah, what's your time? Told me that. I said 10K. Told me that. And she told me half marathon. And I actually beat her half marathon time until then she reclaimed it.
Rapid 5K.
I did reclaim.
Rapid 5K.
So
Did
the goal
Yeah.
is, Sarah, what are your PBs? Those are mine too.
I'm coming for them.
That's it.
I'm so nervous for when you go for a sub 25k because there is nothing I do more than put off having to run another sub 25k. I need to do it at some point this year in a race and actually prove. I've signed up actually to a 5k series towards the end of the year.
Okay.
Where I think it's either 3 or 4 5Ks, and it's like every Wednesday, same course, same people signed up. You just go and do it. And I think for 5K, that's what you need to be able to just go, learn the route, learn the course, learn. Oh, I really messed up this K last
Yeah,
week. I'm
yeah.
coming back. So that is where I'll get you. So you've got till, I don't know when that is, September maybe?
I think we can work with that. We can work with that. Absolutely. I'm coming for your times. That's my goal. That is my goal.
Love that. Well, I've been at altitude to try and beat you.
Yeah, you've been
Just
you've been in Font Romeu.
I have, yeah. I've experienced the elite training camp lifestyle, and it's really hard.
Yeah.
really, really
The lack of
hard.
oxygen.
Yeah, I really, because I've been at altitude before when we've been to different races and I've crewed them, or like skiing, you're at the same altitude. So in my head, I wasn't thinking it was going to be that hard, but I arrived, woke up super early on a Sunday, flew over to Barcelona, and actually I've got a bone to pick with you because last week on the club podcast, you and Andy gave me a right hard time on the fact that I didn't know whether I was in France or Spain.
Which I've never woken up and not known what country I'm in.
After I spoke to you, there was a wind weather warning near to where we were in France. So I couldn't train that day where I wanted to. And so I woke up in France.
You went to Spain?
I got driven to Spain. I did my long run. I fell over, hurt my hand and my knee. Then, don't worry, we got it all on video. Then I drove back to France, went to sleep, woke up, drove back to Spain, flew home. How confusing
That is drama. You could have gone to Andorra as well to get a third one in the mix.
There we well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds like a
I
great
don't know
week.
where that is. Left, right, up, down. Had
got
no
a ski resource.
idea where it was. But yeah, running at altitude is so hard. It was also brutal weather, like really, really cold, but so inspiring to see the athletes that were out in Font Romeu when I was there were ASICS front runner athletes, like some of their fastest ones. So they're not necessarily elite athletes, but they're like knocking on the door of it. But they still have full-time jobs. Most of them are training double days.
Right.
Like the amount of just like passion and love for running that they
have. Is
have.
their purpose to become elite athletes?
I think they just want to see like
if it's
how
possible.
good they can be. Yeah.
Right.
And likewise, there were loads of, because we're coming into Easter holidays in the UK, there were loads of like UK universities who were coming out to train. Like a couple of people from Oxford, Birmingham, Loughborough, Exeter were like all congregating on the track. And again, like it was so inspiring to see when I was at uni, I had barely started running, but to see kind of 19, 20, 21-year-olds who were absolutely attacking ridiculous paces on the track.
I would love to hear the impact on an average, just an average guy, average lady.
Training altitude. Yeah.
Well, that is the video that I've made, so you can see. And also, I'm hoping I've got some good news. We filmed it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see. So I didn't spend, usually you would spend like 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. The elites are spending like months there. I arrived on the Sunday and left on the Friday. So I did a long run workout on the Thursday, which may have been enough time. And then I'm racing Rotterdam Marathon next week when this comes out. So maybe that will have had an effect. But I think the best thing actually was, I think for a lot of us, the majority of your time is spent doing like life. And then you're fitting running in.
Correct.
Whereas it's the first time that I've ever been somewhere where it was like, okay, running is the focus. That's what you wake up, you run, you fuel your runs, you do everything. And then everything else fits around that. You come back, you do your admin. But like the running is the focus. That for me is what I'm taking away. Because I think so often we're just like, oh, quick, cram this in, do this run, squeeze this in after work. Whereas it's quite nice to just be like, I'm just going to get on a bus, go for a run.
The whole
I can't
purpose
imagine
of
what
being
that's like. Because
so
you
good.
wake up and you have to attend to this offspring over here and then take them to that place over there, go to work. Oh, maybe lunch break, I can squeeze something. Oh, I have to get back to pick them up. And then by the time you know it, the day's done.
Imagine being Andy.
Honestly, I know where Andy gets his faffing from. Because like all of my sessions are pretty short because I'm like really coming, apart from my long run, but I was going to do like a 8K like track session and no word of a lie, I was there 2 hours. And the session itself, I was running for probably 40, 50 minutes.
So what were you doing the rest of the time? Faffing.
Turn up, faffing.
Faffing.
There is so much time
Chatting.
that you can spend faffing, chatting to other people. Having a gel. I changed my shoes mid-workout.
You had a
I
gel
went to the
for
toilet.
an hour and a half?
Yeah, I walked the track just to check if there was any ice on the northern corner. There is so much faffing that you can do in running. It's wonderful.
You go to a training camp and the focus of the week is running
instead
of running being something you do during the week.
Because my perception had always been when Andy was an elite athlete, I was like, okay, I get it. You were training full time, but there must have been huge periods of the middle of the day where he had free time. No, he probably woke up at 8, started running at 10 after his breakfast had gone down. 10 till 1, he was probably faffing around at the track, come back, quickly have lunch, have a nap. Everyone was napping. Wake up again, go back to the track, another 3 hours, done. You go to bed. That's your whole day. Of course he didn't have enough time.
That's why when you see athletes like Georgia Bell, who got back into running after basically a 5-year break, but started training, and 2 years ago, pre-Olympics, she was working in sales.
Yeah.
You think a lot of these people have got to an incredible level, not as a full-time job.
Yeah.
They've been doing it on the side.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's where they've got to.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. And you've been doing some running on the side.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it.
How's your running on the side going? Because when this comes out, we will have filmed your longest run. 32 kilometres. I get to watch you do it.
Yeah, you're coming out with me to do 32.
So excited.
My hip flexors here basically kind of kick in when your glutes aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Sorry, did you actually know that, or did you learn that from Mark?
Because he's done.
I swear, before we came in here to do the podcast, I literally heard Mark say those exact words to you about his hip flex. Did you even know what a hip flexor was half an hour ago?
My hips hurt.
Right, so it's going well then. Really excited about the marathon. How's your brother feeling?
I'm ticking it off.
Yeah.
Is it going well? I mean, I can't believe you're coming out with me on Thursday. I found last week's, like the last 5 kilometers, like just so painful. Like so painful.
What distance was last week?
27.
Okay.
She's giving me stick for saying every week, whatever the number is of kilometers, apparently I say that number a ridiculous amount of times.
Right.
Well, you should hear him. I guarantee he won't do this now in the podcast, but as soon as we stop rolling, he'll be
Right.
like, yeah,
27,
no, so I just did my
32.
27. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
just got my
listen,
32.
And then you got
Obviously,
32 on Thursday.
Yeah, that's the biggest. And then you start winding down a little bit. I'm not going to talk
You
about it.
start.
I'm not going to talk about it.
All right.
I will say that since when you were away in Font-Romeu in France,
Yeah. And Spain.
Andy and I did probably one of the most fun workshops we've ever done. It was a running efficiency workshop.
Yes, I
And it
heard
was
about this.
super useful for marathon training. And actually, the old hip flexors that are kicking
Yeah.
in, partly to do with me overstriding.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you're talking about running economy, efficiency, form, stride length,
one of the real
cadence?
big things we talked about in this efficiency workshop was our foot strike and striking directly under the
Under your
center of our
hips.
weight
Yeah.
instead of just in front.
Right.
And one of the things that I think I've been doing slightly wrong,
It's going out in front of
going
you.
out in front.
Did he get you doing B skips?
Well, he tried.
Can you
Some people
imagine,
did.
Richard?
Some people did A skips. Some
Uh-huh.
people did B skips. Some people worked out they couldn't skip.
There's also C skips as well.
Yeah, that
We didn't get there.
No.
We must mention before we talk about fueling,
Yeah.
Andy will kill us if we don't mention this. Because whilst he is on holiday, I doubt he's getting any sleep over this. Do
No.
you think?
At TRC podcast.
Yes. If you enjoy the podcast, whether you listen on audio, whether you watch us on YouTube,
Doesn't
we're
matter.
asking for one small free favour, please, to make the Olympian we all hate and tolerate happy, who's also our boss. Please go to
Love to hate.
Yeah, love to hate.
Love to hate.
Please go to @TRC podcast on YouTube and just click subscribe. That would really help us because
Yeah.
we're going to be moving this podcast. If you enjoy watching this podcast, it's staying exactly the same. Apart from one little change, we're moving to another channel on
Yeah.
the 18th of April, and that's coming very soon.
And why are we doing that? To make it easier. I know it doesn't sound like it is,
But it will
but it will be.
Yeah.
Basically, you'll be able to find it a lot easier.
And scroll through
A lot
all the
more
previous
easily.
ones. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it will be on its own channel.
I think we did quite a good job there. Do you
Good
think?
job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Okay, should we talk about fueling?
Yes. Biggest thing I'm just going to hit you with to
Yeah.
kick off on fueling, that for many years, people got it wrong. But even now, the people who are fueling are very likely to be under fueling how much they put in their body when it comes to carbs, and not just a little bit, a lot.
Yeah, so there was a 2025 study which revealed that marathoners average an intake of just 21.7 grams of carbohydrates per hour, which is massively under fueling based on what the science says, which I think is super interesting because it does feel like everyone talks about fueling. Everyone talks about gels when it comes to a marathon, but actually the majority of people, myself included, have probably underfueled their last marathon or their current marathon.
I think it's right. And I think for me, it's when you get into running, you don't know enough of what you really need to know in depth. You know, things
No.
like running shoes.
Yeah.
You just take the shoes you had before and bring them into running, then you find out it's a whole world, it's a whole universe.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with nutrition. For me, I had something to eat when I left the house and I just go running. Actually, I'm tired now. I'm going to go back. Not knowing about even fueling during the run. So people take that stuff for granted. So I think it's good that we dive into it.
Yeah, and I feel like you can most people are just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.
And it gets so complicated so quickly. But should we talk through the history of fueling? Because whilst a lot of people are getting it wrong now, we're not getting it quite as wrong as we did in the past.
I really liked this major turning point that took place in the 1924 Paris Olympics.
Yeah.
While the Paris race notably featured wine pourers along the course, scientists studying runners in the Boston Marathon the same year noticed that athletes were crossing the finish line with low blood sugar and were in a state of shock.
Wine pourers. Is
Wine
that what you would
pourers.
like at London Marathon for you?
There was a guy last year who had a different glass of wine on every mile.
Oh,
the
yeah,
wine
and he
guy,
had
is
to-
it Toby, the wine
Yeah,
guy.
and he had to guess what all the different
Wines
wines
were,
were.
yeah.
But this is insane. So in the early 1900s, marathon runners were fueling with cognac, champagne, and even a mixture of brandy and egg whites.
Yeah, so we might get it wrong nowadays, but definitely not that
They got
wrong.
it pretty.
All of that
Absolutely
wrong.
right.
Although,
It took
did
us a
you
long time
see-
to figure it out, though. I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't until the 80s that the first sports bar, fuel bar, was invented.
And the first energy gel in 1987.
It
I mean,
can't
it's
be
late.
that.
That's late.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty
Is that
recent.
right?
But then I do have conversations. You know, sometimes how like gels
Mm-hmm.
feel so normal to if you run, you're like, yeah, of course, I would take a gel. I was explaining to my mum the other day what a gel is
Yeah.
and what it tastes like and what it feels and like the consistency of it, and she was like, and you really and you eat and I was like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's,
Do
but
you know
it
what,
is
though?
so foreign compared to any other thing that you would eat.
I've been telling my brother about this because I don't think he takes on enough, and I'm learning to be better. So when you have a gel, that's 40 grams of carbs. Now,
Depending on the gel.
Depending on
there
the gel.
are lots
The
of
ones that I've
different.
got-
Because the
Of-
ones
of-
you're
of-
talking about,
yeah, the
they're
better gels,
So that's
they're
like
40
a
grams.
dual source gel.
A dual source
Yeah.
gel, 40 grams. Recommendation for both men and women, somewhere between 60 to 90 grams
Right.
per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds up here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're on a marathon, you're doing a 4-hour marathon.
right.
I don't think most people are taking out 8 gels with them.
Definitely not.
No, I've never taken more than 6.
So that means you're under fueling.
Yeah, massively. And do you know what else I've got wrong? And I did this for the first time on my long run last week and literally could have slapped myself in the face. I was so annoyed that I hadn't done it before.
Right.
Before I started my watch, before I took a single step,
Smashed a gel.
had a gel.
Right.
Didn't hit the wall. Felt amazing. Could have run forever.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the things that worked out pretty well in Tokyo. We made a plan that we're going to track each 5K.
Nice.
And when we go past the 5K marker, that's our reminder for the gel. And so
Nice.
Owen and I were doing that every 5K. And it's the first time that I actually sustained that all the way to the end.
So you did.
It's a lot.
You did
So
8.
you did 8 gels.
Absolutely. And there were sports. So you get water or your sports drink on the course.
Yeah.
The kind man over there, being the whizzy runner he is, he'd dash off, go get me one of these, depending on what was available on the course, and bring that back.
Yeah.
So at the start line, and then mind you, the only thing I had, I gave you that story, I was late.
Yeah.
I had the energy drink, and this is 80 grams within this drink. So on the way on the bus, I had the 80 grams drink
Yeah.
and a gel at the start line, and then started doing it for the first time
There's
ever.
80 grams in the drink.
In the energy drink, yes.
Oh, not. Yeah, because some people
Wow.
might be thinking,
It's enormous.
I don't know how to carry that many gels, or I don't know how much to do. There are so many different combinations of things that you
Correct.
can do as well. So like drink, for example, loads of the elite athletes will be using drink mixes
Absolutely.
rather than
The
gels.
gels.
But that's
help.
because they have, if you go to the elite races, they
They've
have
got
their own
bottles.
energy stations
Correct.
Yeah.
where they're all labelled up. So
And they
for most people,
decorate
that's
them.
not
Do you know,
Correct.
I think,
that's not
And,
going to work.
and they're running for
your
2
average runner.
hours.
no, but then you could take a soft flask. So and then put that in your shorts. Mark does that on a lot of his long
Wayne,
runs.
there's a lot going on here.
That is my one thing that is annoying, is that
It's squishing around.
with the best will in the world, with as
30K.
many pockets as you could possibly take,
Yeah.
I am irritated by the amount that I'm carrying in
Carrying,
the
yeah.
first 5
Yeah.
days.
So you carried 8 gels, 40 grams.
Absolutely.
You carried.
Absolutely. So I had those. And the good thing about thinking about your storage, like the drink, some people will carry a soft flask and it works very well. I just hate the sound of it squishing around.
Yeah, no, I
But
agree.
I had that on the
Yeah.
way. And then I had the gel before. But absolutely, I had them in the side pockets, had them in the back. And then the
I
kind
guess
man even
that's
offered to
why
carry some.
it's useful to practice in training as well, because you can get used to it, and also getting to know what gels you're taking, because we're talking about dual source gels there, which are 40 grams of carbs. Some gels are 20, some are 30. So
Right.
if you are wanting to do like 60 to 90, yes, okay, if you want to do 60, that's 3 an hour. If
Absolutely.
you've got 20, so then suddenly that's like 3, 6, 9, that could be 12 gels if you're doing a 4-hour marathon.
Yeah.
And 4 hours is pretty
A
quick.
long time.
So for most people, that's going to be even more.
Yeah. I think it's the monotony of doing it sometimes. Mind you, your body is doing the most it's ever done.
Yeah.
The monotony of doing that. But also if you think of the volume of 8 gels now sitting in your stomach.
Yeah.
It's
and
not-
that's
it's
why you
not-
need to practice it.
But that you're burning it.
Correct.
So it's not actually sitting in, but I know what you mean. It piles up to a point where you're thinking, can I get another one down me?
Absolutely.
I just
but
think you have to hope that when, your body realizes it's after the race.
yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
'Cause
I know where you're going.
No one wants a mid-race fueling mistake. I've
Yeah.
had
Correct.
that before.
You can build up your body's tolerance to it. You basically train your gut with this stuff though, don't you?
Yeah.
So if you build up as you're building up your longer runs, so you're getting up at where we are now, kind of 30-kilometer mark. If you're on, I imagine you're on 5 or 6, Sarah, now, are you? 5?
Runs?
No,
Oh,
5
gels.
5
Yeah.
gels.
Yeah.
So if you're moving it up
Yeah.
with the training, that's the best way to
Then
do
you're
it.
able to hit the tolerance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get to know like what flavour you want, what you can handle. I pride myself, as I've said many a time,
Solid.
in I can take anything and go for a run. Not necessarily fast, but like had a full English breakfast before I did the half marathon with you. I didn't feel that
but
great.
that didn't
Wouldn't
feel great,
recommend.
did it? How did
We
that work
also-
out?
Hey, look, it wasn't
Look at how he's
amazing.
chuckling.
Hey, did
How did that work out?
did I complete a half marathon? Yes, I did.
You said you felt absolutely condition rancid.
Hey, maybe, but I continued.
Yeah.
We even we once got pizzas in for lunch at work, and then I remember like after the lunch, a couple of us were like, "Oh, we were going to go for a run. It's such a nice day," and then we decided to go out and did like 6K after a full pizza. We managed.
I just couldn't.
Didn't feel great,
I don't know
but
how
we
you did
managed.
that. I don't know how you did that.
I just couldn't.
I think I eat a lot when I was at uni. I used to eat a lot whilst walking, and I feel like that's really helped my digestive system.
Right.
Should we,
My body's just like, yeah, multitasking. Hold my beer.
have you two? I mentioned this in a pod about a couple of months ago, maybe. But the gels without flavors,
Yes.
the neutral ones.
Yeah,
Have you
neutral
two tried
ones.
that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just use those.
Yeah.
And then I don't feel sick. I think if you're just doing, I say just now, if you do it,
Only 27K.
well,
If you're just doing
who are you?
a 20 miler.
Who
Yeah,
have
where
you
is Rick
become?
Kelsey?
Who have you become? Just go back to what you were. If you're doing a half,
Yeah.
you might be able to just deal with 4 of flavors, but I just have to do the neutral ones now
Yeah.
because it doesn't bother me. But let's dive into a little bit of the mix of the glucose and the fructose. If you look at your gel, it might actually have the combination of glucose to fructose. So the one that I'm taking is 1 to 0.8. So glucose, for every 1 gram of glucose, there is 0.8 grams of fructose. And the way this is worked out is because the body can only consume 60 grams of glucose per hour, then having the second makes a different, distinct absorption channel. It's almost like Andy's here.
Gosh, that was really sciencey for you.
Thank
yeah,
you.
so the
That's
reason
as far
you
as I'm
get
going.
dual source gels is so that you can take on more within an hour and more of it gets absorbed, so your body can use more.
Do you do the combo of the both? Do you do?
Yeah,
Is your gel?
I
got
love
both?
because
Yeah.
I want to carry as few gels as possible. So my strategy
You're still
now will
carrying
be
8?
to have, but I don't want to carry any more than 8. So I'm going to take 1 on the start line and then 1 every half an hour because I just find that easier than previously. I had done nothing on the start line, first gel at 7K.
You should do a bar
So
on the start
35
line
minutes.
instead of a gel to mix it up.
Yeah, maybe I should treat myself. Yeah, maybe
Do a
I will
bar.
do a bar. I haven't experimented with it though, but I'll try it
It's
next
just-
weekend.
Something different.
Yeah, just something a little bit different. But that's why I think the bigger amount of carbs that you can have in one go, if you can tolerate it, the better.
Why do you think people are so far off with this target?
I think for me, just the big contrast of 21.7 grams, we said, versus you need to be anywhere 60, 90. I think for me, it's an education piece.
Yeah.
But also, one thing I think it just needs to be acknowledged. Your body dealing with eating stuff while it's running. I'm telling you, I've had serious consequences because of that. And I've had to do a few stops on my runs, long runs, even races. I think a lot of people develop maybe fears.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of
Oh, I
runners.
see. So you reckon people are not fueling because in case they have toilet problems?
I think that's one of the reasons. I think I've definitely had that until only when I was educated to go, actually, you're asking way too much of your body for this marathon distance without fueling it, right?
I think cost also.
That's interesting.
Well, so
Well, how much are they?
they can vary anywhere from, depending on like the size of gel, the amount of carbs that you've got, anything from less than £1 to £2-3 per gel.
So it adds
but if you
up.
think for a
It adds
training
up.
block,
Yeah.
there's one, carrying all of them, two, how much they cost. I think that personally is what I know is like put some of my friends off. But then also I do think we're in a horrible world where everyone currently is shrinking, wants to be smaller. That's what you just get fed on social media. And so I think for a lot of people, myself included, when I started running because I wanted to lose weight. So then if someone said to me like, oh, go on a run and eat this or consume this, I'd have been like, oh no, I'm running to lose weight. I don't need to take on anything.
carbs before Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas actually I run now because I do it to stay healthy and to stay fit, but a huge reason is because like I want to see how far I can go.
Right.
So like unlearning that and going, okay, no, if you take this on a run, nothing bad is going to happen. Like unlearn that horrible thing that we've been taught over and over and over again, or my generation definitely has, and actually fuel yourself, because then you feel amazing and you can do what you want to do and run the time that you want to get and actually have a good time rather than hitting the wall, which I've done and feels horrible.
Hang on, I thought you were a millennial.
No, I'm a Gen Z.
Oh God, you scraped in, didn't you?
I know.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so youthful. I'm the wrong way round. I act like a millennial whilst being a Gen Z.
The wall
Yeah.
is just an empty fuel tank.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of people, and the hard thing is, and this is why I'm now going to bang the drum of fuel on the start line. The hard thing is that once you've hit it, it's very hard to claw it back.
Yeah.
It's not like a car where you just, fill the tank up with petrol and off you go again. Or maybe, I don't know actually what happens in a car. If your car does literally run out of petrol,
Yeah.
can you just fill it up and it goes again?
No, I've done that. I had to call someone out.
Yeah, see?
I've done
okay,
it.
same
you know
thing.
when
then.
you know your
have
car very well. I thought I knew, it's on E. No, I could get a bit more out of that.
Yeah.
Surprised me, I couldn't. So I had to
really?
call- yeah. I had to call someone out for it, and then they helped me with it.
Okay, so there you go. So that's like hitting a wall.
Absolutely.
Like you're going to have to call someone. You can't just tip some more carbs in and then you'll be fine. So hitting the wall is literally, and that's why I used to think, okay, I'm going to take a gel, then I'm going to wait till I start to feel tired, then I'm going to take
Yeah, that's
another
definitely
gel.
where it goes wrong.
Wrong.
Absolutely.
No. Preempt the fact that you're going to bonk or hit the wall or feel tired, because the more that you can preempt it, the dream is to never feel like you're even dipping.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is a feeling that not many people get when they're running long distance.
No.
I think the way it was said to me was, you fuel for the next, if you fuel every half an hour or every 5K, you're taking this gel for that 5K. So you're not doing it for right now.
No.
And so you're doing it in advance of the next half an hour, which why the start line makes sense, because you fuel to get to the start line.
Yeah.
But now this start line gel is for the next 5K.
Yeah,
And not to
exactly. Because
think
it's
of
not
it.
like if you go to take a shower, it's not like when the first drop of water hits you, bam, you're clean.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that gel is going through a whole process whilst you're running, potentially the fastest or furthest that you've ever run before.
Correct.
So like you got to give that time.
I suppose we're talking here though, roughly, we're equating time with distance. So roughly half hour to 5K, maybe a bit quicker. That's what we're talking roughly.
Yeah.
But actually, it might be easier for many people just to take it on time, because it's time on your feet.
That's why I'm saying half an hour, because I feel like that's nice and neat to just
Yeah.
go 30 minutes,
Correct.
bam, next gel.
Yeah.
30 minutes, bam, next gel.
Yeah.
And then you look forward to it, or you might surprise yourself. I do think sometimes fueling gives you a great little like,
boost.
right, I'm going to think about this.
Well, I like it because when you rip the top off, you then have to look for a bin, and that takes your mind off running
Yeah, exactly.
for about 200
Must
meters.
not litter. Must find bin.
Must find a bin.
Yeah.
Right, well, to sum up then
Yeah.
on fueling, hopefully this has been useful. Remember, most people are under fueling. There are disastrous consequences to under fueling. There's some research being done into it, but so far there aren't too many negatives on over fueling. Definitely, at least when it comes to in a race. So if you aren't taking 60 to 90 grams, definitely consider whether you could be taking a little bit more. Think about how your gut uses different channels for energy, as Rick laid out. So
Glucose and fructose.
yeah, so maybe look at kind of what fuel sources you're getting in and train your gut like
Build
a
it up
muscle.
and down. Yeah.
I mean, I would say strength training and gut training probably can't come into the same category for me.
I don't
as
think-
boring.
I don't-
Very
I know.
important, has to be done.
I don't actually think have we ever said gut and training?
Gut training.
2 words together
Welcome to your gut training
on
plan.
this show. I don't think we have. The wall is just an empty fuel tank. And
Yeah.
lighter does not mean faster. Because
No.
if you are trying to be super light for your race, it may be that your bones are weak.
Yeah.
And that's a whole world of problems with red S, something we've talked about on the show as well.
Yeah. So make sure that you are fueling enough. Even if your motivation for running is to lose weight, just make sure that you stay on the right side so that you can be happy, healthy, injury-free and make it to the start line.
And I would say for the long runs you do, it's nice whilst we have benchmarks, 60 to 90,
Yeah.
find out what works for you.
Yeah, because
You
it's
know,
so individual.
Absolutely.
In fact, we've just done a video with Tom and Mark where they went up to a university in Liverpool in the north of England to go and see just how they use carbs. I think it's
Right.
called a carb oxidation test. So go check that out on YouTube as well. Fascinating. Shall we talk about some news? Berlin half marathon.
Yeah. So sometimes you watch a race and you're thinking, those pacemakers, they look pretty good. Do you reckon they could actually win it? Well, it turns out they might be able to.
Well, they can definitely come second because that's what happened in Berlin, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
so this is Dennis Kipkamoy. He was hired to set the pace, but obviously step aside
Yeah, at
when
16K.
Andrea Kiptu, who won it, he was hired to step aside 16K, 17K, but you just kind of see the guy creeping up on the leaders and eventually he's running with the leader at the end.
Yeah.
And they were talking, so he could have won it. In the end, he came second.
He was even having conversations with the like crew on the motorbike,
motorbike,
wasn't he?
yeah.
To be like, is this okay?
Is this okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Am I
So
okay?
I would love
What
your
do we
thoughts.
think about
Yeah.
this? Because, the rules around pacemakers are really informal, but they are paid to be there. Whereas if you don't come in a paid result position,
Yeah.
then the athletes themselves won't get paid. Okay, they're still athletes, but the pro athletes who are there to race, they are there to do a job. So should they just back off and do the job, or if they feel so good that they can go for it, should they go for it?
If they've done a good job, then they're just.
But they haven't done a good job.
It's like no, but
If they're winning the race, but they're not paid to do that.
Yeah, I know, but is this not the equivalent of like a window cleaner comes round, cleans all your windows, and then like paints your front step
No.
just because they feel like it? What do you think?
I genuinely think. So depends on the half marathon itself. These are the world's best. Yeah, the guy who won this 59 minutes, 11 seconds, I want to say.
Yeah,
If somebody can beat that time in whatever capacity they've come in at,
yeah,
and they finish at that time, should we say they have? To me, I'm with Rick. This guy was hired to pace this thing. It's almost like I go to sports day and the kids are running. I jump in, pacing my son Josiah. I said, listen, go, son. And I go, hey, this Josiah kid's not doing it. I'm just going to win this myself.
Yeah.
And I
But
just
I
go
think
on.
that's slightly different because you're not in the same. No offense to Josiah, but
Yeah.
you're not even in the same category as each. Whereas this is literally some of the best athletes in the world
fair,
doing a half marathon.
Yeah, but
I don't know. But if I was a pacemaker and I was like, you know what, this field isn't doing something for me, I'm gonna go and win it.
Well, there's this.
You're going to do it.
I'm going to take it.
Psychologically, it's
I love
unfair on the professional athletes as well.
How about this?
No, because they are paid not only to run the splits correctly, they're also paid to absorb wind, to block the wind for athletes.
Okay, well, what about...
So if you know that your pace is on track because there's a pacer there and he does not fall away, then, but the pacer knew the whole time he was fit enough to complete it, then the pacer naturally has an unfair advantage.
No, they don't, because they've absorbed the wind. They've done a harder job up to 16K and then they've gone on and gone super fast. So I would say...
But only one of them knows what's going to happen. The pacer knows that he's still going to be there at the end. The other guy doesn't know that. So he's running his race as if the pacer is not there. One of them has all the information. The other one does not have all the information.
So you mean...
because you mean the person left behind.
The pacer
has all the information.
Decided,
he has the information. Here. Only he knows of those athletes. Only he knows what's going to happen.
Right.
He doesn't know if he can hold it. The other person does not know.
No,
have the full information.
Let me check if I understand your point. So you're saying this pacer at the start could go, actually, I might have ulterior motives here. I'm going to try and win it. So I'm going to hold this pack. I'll hold this pack here until I can kick and then go.
He knows that.
Whereas
the rest of the
these
field...
guys are just obeying and sort of staying with this pace.
But then they don't have to obey. To be
fair,
they could drop the pacer.
There's no way that they would think that was going to happen. They don't have that information.
Yeah, but now that has happened,
but it's unfair information. One has information, the other one does not. I keep saying the word information. I'm sorry.
I feel like personally, if you're a pacemaker, you're supposed to go to 16K.
Right.
You end up going to the end of the race. You should forfeit your pacemaking money because you've just raced a race. You haven't paced a race. I mean, you have paced a race.
No, but Sarah, if his pacemaking money is 50 quid, winning is 1,000.
Yeah, then forfeit 50, go get $1,000, 100%.
All right.
I would actually, that would be interesting. Yeah, I wonder how,
no,
how much do you think a pacemaker
Aubrey,
gets
I take
paid?
your point, but they are paid every time. So if you're paid £50 every Saturday of the month, and then every Saturday of the year, but the winner who's paid £1,000.
Oh, here we go.
No,
Mr.
hear me out. But
I can't do this kind of math.
No, just hear me out. He wins 4 races a year, so he gets £4,000 at the end of the year.
God, this is like GCSE maths.
If there's a pacemaker who does £50 every Saturday, he gets a hell of a lot more than... I'm not going to do the maths. But it's
I'm not even sure that
he gets a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
But it would take him 10 months to get £1,000.
Yeah, but he's got the guaranteed income.
Oh, no, it wouldn't.
So he knows what he's going to get at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Whereas the athlete doesn't.
So,
athletes.
Your stance is this guy should have been acknowledged as a second place winner or not?
He shouldn't.
I'm saying he should. Go for it. Come on. I think the more we can do to make running a bit more dramatic. Do you know what I mean? Because the finish was quite dramatic because you saw he came second in the end, but he was right in there. That's why I paused,
because
I love
it's interesting. We're talking about it, but I don't think it's fair.
They should let a dog off at the start as well and just see whether the dog could win.
Yeah. I think it's unfair. The guy was obviously checking with the officials. Like,
thank you, mate.
But then again, the officials must have told him. The officials must have gone, yeah, it's all right, actually, mate. Go on.
Imagine if they told him the wrong thing. Because the people on the motorbike aren't necessarily going to be the ones that can give that.
Well, it's a pure sport. He can do what he wants.
Well, I feel like the fail-safe is check with the officials.
Yeah.
If he wants to keep running, he can keep running. Whether or not it's recognised or not is
drama. Anyway, let us know what you think, because that was a dramatic one. Also, shout out to friend of the channel, Ben Felton. Ben is running, breaking 65 minutes.
Yeah. And I wasn't even there to pace him. Good lad. Good lad.
Think what could happen if you were there.
Yeah.
It would have been 59-11 with the pace.
Right. Questions.
So we asked in the Running Channel Club for some questions for you.
Ooh.
And we are going to do a full extra club episode on all of the questions because we got so many, but we wanted to bring one into this. Adam wanted to know, how do you define success as a runner, Aubrey?
Ooh. I think I had 3 things on this one. A PB.
Yeah.
And I think runners disguise a big achievement, but just these 2 letters, PB. What I'm saying is my body ran this distance, the fastest it's ever managed to in its entirety, in its life. Yeah. So I ran a 15-minute PB over the marathon distance. For me, getting yourself as a person, your body to perform something it's never done before, I think that has to be success. It was also a very big story being the first Malawian to do what I did. And that's something that no record can change. You can't be the first again, you know? So for me, that was big. But also, Owen played me a video of my family on the 30K mark. I broke down in tears watching this on the course, knowing that those people are proud of what I'm doing, probably tops it all. I think those three things to me would be success.
I thought at one point he was going to say, Owen. Just
Owen's
finished there.
proud of me.
Yeah,
That's success.
done.
Owen.
No, I think that's lovely because I think you can have those things. I think success isn't necessarily going to happen every single time.
Absolutely.
Or like all the time. So I think those things are so special. And like that memory of Tokyo, so special as well.
But it's also the flip side. Failure does a lot for you. Whatever you class as failure, I think I have developed as a person more from failure than I have from success.
Yeah. Running gives you high highs and low lows.
Very low lows.
Yeah.
Very low
Thursday
lows.
mornings are pretty low for me at the moment. To be
Oh, is
honest
that
with
where
you.
you do 27K?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't mention the numbers, Sarah.
That's
Just don't mention the
5.
numbers.
If anyone
let's
had
not
5
talk
in
numbers.
the rankings.
Let's not talk numbers. It's not big. It's not impressive. It is, but
I can't wait for when you do 32K. I love that.
This is how you're going to become an ultra marathon runner.
All right. I need to introduce you to the best email we had this week. Okay. I'm going to take the first 2 paragraphs. You're going to take the next. Okay. I hope you don't mind me getting in touch. I'm Caroline, always fueled by biscuits and long-time runner and listener to the TRC podcast. And chief biscuiteer at Kitch Hen, a biscuit business that I launched in 2015. I fell in love with running at the end of a really long and emotional journey through IVF. After years and years of feeling like my body was letting me down, I decided to train for a marathon in the hope of finding a way to be able to appreciate what it could do rather than what it couldn't. I'm not sure we talk enough about this, to be honest. Fertility treatment never worked for us, but instead of letting it break me, I was determined to build a life that was still meaningful and hopeful and purposeful. Running has always been a massive part of that journey, and I think it's so important to keep talking about how it's still possible to build a joy-filled life when things don't work out as you hoped, and how running can help you find that.
My business itself came out of the infertility. The Kitch Hen exists to brighten up people's days with letterbox hand-stamped biscuits that share messages of encouragement, love, hope and edible joy. And now, after years of saying I should, I have finally created a range of biscuit gifts for runners. In all my marathon running years, I found it quite hard to find a genuinely thoughtful good luck or you did it gift for runners that doesn't break the bank, can be sent through the post and genuinely celebrates what a huge achievement running any kind of race is. So I created one. With London, Manchester and Brighton Marathon coming up, I thought they might be a nice, slightly different idea for any gift guides or features for runners. Or the people cheering them on that you've got coming up, and a lovely way to mark the last push of training, a pre-race good luck or a finish line celebration.
Thank you, Caroline.
Yeah, thank you.
That was lovely.
Is this you saying that you want us to get you some biscuits?
I am eating quite a lot of gingerbread men at the moment. I've never eaten gingerbread men before I started this marathon training book, and now just all the time.
I do love a gingerbread man. That's such a lovely message as well, to like channel
really
something
nice.
in off the back of what you said as well, like how things not turning out as planned or failure can be such a fuel for other things. Caroline's done such a positive thing there.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And we'll pop a link in the episode description as well if you want to see where her biscuits are made. Or you just want to eat them, you know.
I'm really hungry now.
Well, stop there.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Aubrey.
We're not done with you yet, though. We're
Yeah.
going to do a full club episode asking you even more
Hey,
questions.
I'm going to clear out my diary for the next, I don't know how many weeks. You guys let me know. I'll be back.
He'll just be sat in this
That's
chair.
it. That's
Maybe we
it.
don't need Andy.
Oh, I mean, he will listen back and he will have notes on that
I
comment.
know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like to say stuff just to see if he'll
Well, I was
listen
saying
before
that.
he
I mean,
comes
it's
back.
Easter, isn't it? Apparently, all his kids' holidays run on different weeks, so he might be gone for months.
Well, we'll see you next
time.
week. Bye.